You know, I did this vlog about the IDF attacking the Flotilla, the Mavi Marmara, etc., coming in to bring relief supplies to Gaza. I pulled the video. I'll tell you, look, I'm not anti-Israel and I'm not anti-Palestine. I'm just anti-war. I'm pro-peace. And it really bothers me when I put up a video and everybody starts calling the Palestinians pallies and saying bad things about Jews. I just don't like that. So I pulled that video. Here, I'm going to do another one. I'm really going to try to be impartial. When the incident first happened, the IDF cut all the communication lines on the Mavi Marmara so that they would not be able to contact anyone on the outside. But so Al Jazeera reporters were able to put out some live footage at that time anyway. And I saw this live footage, and you hear shots coming from below. And they showed us shots of the water. The Israeli ships were still a little bit further away, but they were shooting onto the boat. And you'd see that at least 2 passengers at that time had been shot, and it was reported on Al Jazeera they had been killed. Now, when the IDF rappelled down from helicopters onto the boat, they were attacked by the passengers immediately with pretty much whatever those people had their hands on. Chairs and poles, things like that. And I've also seen footage of the IDF soldiers in the boats right next to the Mavi Marmara being sprayed with water and pelted with chairs and other kinds of objects. Israeli MP Hanee Zuabi was on board the Mavi Marmara and gave an interview on Russia Today saying that the IDF attacked the ship first, that they shot at them. Now, you're hearing it from an Israeli member of parliament. It's not, I think it's a pretty credible source, don't you think? There's also a video released on YouTube called something like Deadly Weapons Found Aboard Mavi Marmara. But if you look at what these supposed deadly weapons are, they're things like these, which are some kind of firecrackers called a smoke torch. Also slingshots. And things like bottles filled with rocks. Also poles and sledgehammers, which are also building tools, so who knows what they were for. Could you call these deadly weapons? Well, I guess you could. I mean, it's just about anything could be used as a deadly weapon. The only one there that is definitely a weapon is a slingshot. But you're talking about slingshots versus an armed military. What does that say about, how desperate the Palestinians are? These people are kept in a walled ghetto. Their electricity is cut off. Their crops are destroyed. They're prevented from growing their own food. They're cut off from every necessity of life. And footage has shown before that they have been attacked with banned weapons like white phosphorus and cluster bombs. I mean, these are just the facts. Okay, it's a very bad situation to say the least. So why are they bringing slingshots in? Is that a setup? Slingshots? The Malaysian paper, The Star Online, has been reporting quite extensively on this. Here's an article called Palestinian Envoy says it's a massacre against humanity. What they do point out in this article is that the ships were loaded with transparency at Athens and in Turkey. Think about it. When you get on an airplane, they check your luggage before you get on the airplane, don't they? So, that was one thing. And also, was it really necessary to intercept the ships like this? And international waters, they don't really have the right to do that. They could have just, inspected them when they arrived in Gaza. Here's something sent to me by YouTube user Angelic Scorn. She says, proof that they are protesters. A spokeswoman for the Free Gaza movement, which organized the flotilla, said the group's goal, beyond just bringing supplies to the impoverished territory, was to shatter the blockade. Honestly, I can't blame someone from wanting to shatter a blockade to a place like Gaza. Look, the blockades aren't working anyway. This has been going on for a long time, and clearly what they're doing is not working. What are they going to do? Blockade them until they all die? Here you can see the Israelis celebrating after the flotilla was intercepted. Why are they celebrating? Because the blockade was not broken. But like I say, how long are you going to go on blockading them, and what is this going to accomplish? Something has to be done so that peace can be achieved. Guardian UK, Israel should lead investigation into attack on Gaza flotilla, says US. Turkey's demand for international inquiry blocked at meeting of United Nations Security Council. At the United Nations, they were saying there should be an impartial international investigation to find out what happened. This was blocked by the UN Security Council, by the US. They're saying that it should be an impartial investigation that meets international standards, but basically that anybody could do it, and then they suggest that Israel could do it. Well, that's not an impartial international investigation. It's not the same thing. And all the ships of the flotilla haven't come in yet. There's still the Rachel Corrie and some others. This ship has only 19 people on it. It has 8 crew, a few Malaysians and a few Irish. And among them are, okay, this is according to the Star Online from Malaysia, a veteran journalist called Shamsul, and other Malaysians include a lawyer, Matthias Chang, Parit, MP Nizar Zakaria, activist Ahmad Faisal Azumu, and TV3 crew members. Among the Irish are Nobel Peace Laureate Mairead Maguire and former UN Assistant Secretary General Dennis Halliday. And as they point out, these are hardly terrorist elements. I mean, you're not going to tell me that Mairead Maguire is in league with Al-Qaeda, are you? And still they want to intercept the Rachel Corrie as well, which hasn't arrived. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm not anti-Israel, I'm not anti-Palestine. I'm just anti-war. And here's, I'll try to give you, this is what I see as the big picture. The conflict between Gaza and Israel is bad for Israel as well as Gaza. Obviously it's bad for Gaza, you know what's going on there, but it's bad for Israel as well because it's creating a lot of hatred towards Israel. No? And I'm sure that there can be a way to settle this peacefully, to arrive at some kind of resolution. If you look at what gets in the way of this resolution, it's usually the UN Security Council vetoing any kind of agreements that may lead to peace. What I see happening is it's not so much about Israel or Gaza, it's about the globalists, it's about the global elite. They have a vested interest in continuing this conflict for their political reasons, for the New World Order, and they make money off it. As Bush recently said in Argentina, the best way to revive an economy is to have a war. Those people make money off war. They have been caught fueling both sides of conflicts many times over. And I think that this is not so much about Israel or Gaza. This is about way up higher than that. This is about the New World Order.